What up, y'all? You're now listening to Infused Influence, where we're infused by weed culture, cannabis business, and its politics through conversations with special guests. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Infused Influence, folks. I'm your host, Trayvon. I've got my co-host with me here, Lorian. What's going on, sir?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, six men of the year, filling in for Ulysses here today.
We got a lot of 6 men.
Of course, come on now.
We got a deep team.
Facts. We've got, I don't know what position Rachel would play on our team. But she's another special guest we have here on the show. Welcome back, Rachel.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
It's the first time on the show with live stream, right?
Yeah,
just on the
totally.
show a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago.
Look at this. Look at us.
Amazing, right? Yeah. Remember we were recording in here with all this equipment and no cameras on?
It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was fun. Well, thank you for joining us. Let's clap it up for Rachel. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Of course. How are you doing today, Rachel?
I'm doing pretty good. Weather's warming up. I mean, we've had a little bit of rain this past week, so I'm happy. I know that's not
my
quite
vibe,
your thing.
Bro. My absolute
yeah,
vibe.
you want the rain, but
Come
I'm
on
happy.
now.
Happy to have gone on a hike yesterday. Ready for more outdoor activities. I'm feeling a good vibe. How are you both?
I'm good. I had a crazy Memorial Day, but I went to New York and drove back the same night. Going all over the place, but it was cool. It was a little.
You drove to and from New York in one day?
Well, there was a lot of barbecues. A lot of barbecues I had to go do, but it was worth it.
Wow. This is going to sound so ignorant of me, all right? But anytime I ever think of New York, I picture, the city, all these tall rises and apartments and buildings and stuff like that. How do people have barbecues? Where's the backyards? I've never seen a backyard in New York.
There's mad parks. You're right. There's no backyards.
There's no backyards.
This is parks.
So you guys just lug a grill to a park and bring your propane
The grill's
tanks.
already there.
Grills is already there.
Yeah, so a lot of apartments that will have a little park behind it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
so you can do things. Yeah.
Shout out to the folks organizing that for y'all. That's kind of cool. Shout out to Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah.
3-day weekend. I always enjoy a Monday off of work.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday just feels like Monday now, even though it's already Monday Junior. It's like Monday Senior today.
Yeah.
Wednesday's going to be Tuesday. It always messes up classes, but I guess Rachel's done. In fact, let's clap it up for Rachel. She graduated recently. She's edumacated, you know what I'm saying?
Edumacated.
Man, that's crazy.
Crazy. Doesn't feel real.
It does not feel real one bit, does it?
Until a year later, until
Right,
you're working and you're like, this is adult life.
Yeah, no, I know. Rayvon mentioned that it would hit me in September, and I was
Yeah,
that is truly definitely what's going to happen. Without a doubt.
No, yeah. Once you really have to, wake up, go to work, not go to class. It's just not to say classes are school, anyways. I hated going to class. It's better than having to go to work. No bull. It's it's not it.
That's fair.
But I mean, we're here at work, so let's chat a little bit about that. I know last time you were here, we talked a lot about your event that you had going on, and we mainly chatted about the event. Can you kind of give us some reflection, or kind of a follow up to how things went from our conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the event I thought went very beautifully. I loved the lore that we had come and talk about expungement was very informative. All my friends that came to the event.
I loved his outfit.
His outfit.
His
iconic.
outfit was
I'll
phenomenal.
Never forget it.
I love his outfit.
Very chill dude. He was bringing his own vibes for sure. But he was very informative. Again, everyone that came to the event, all my friends and family said they learned a lot from it, which really was the goal. And I was super, super happy to hear that as a takeaway. The panelists also were just incredible. Each of them had such distinct personality to bring to the table, and stories and just takes on social equity and community engagement in the community, like we discussed the whole event was surrounding. But yeah, I feel like I also personally learned so much. I mean, not only planning it, but also like getting to hear their perspectives. Feels like I feel like I hold a much more holistic understanding of what social equity means, especially within cannabis, and where we should look to take maybe some of the regulations. I know that's kind of like a large scale thing to be thinking about, but it really did inspire so many thoughts for me and hopefully everyone else there. I feel like I kind of got that feedback, like I said. But and the food was great too. Got some good Jamaican food.
Shout out to Unique Cafe.
Yes, for real, for real. They're great over there. So kind, such great food. But yeah, I don't know. I was really, really happy about it. It was a good day. It was a good day.
I'm loving the music in the background. But shout out to all the panelists, Blake, Damaris, or Damaris, excuse me, Peyton and Ulysses. There was a heck of a guy doing the moderating as well. I forget what his name was, but he did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job.
Yeah, he definitely kept it
He
going.
did his thing, right?
Kept it pushing.
We had Freshly Baked back there table, and we had Blossom table, and we got Blossom Blunts coming back to the shelf soon. That was sick. And so now that you've kind of, done one event, you've, got your, I don't even know what they say, you got your wits about you or whatever, you've done one, it's under your feet. What do you see as kind of like next for Rachel? Like if you were to plan another event or, what kind of aspirations do you have?
Yeah, I think I really love when, community comes together. That was like half of what the event was intended to be. So I think if I were to go forward with something, I would want to do an event that was more tables, more businesses being able to come together and kind of chat with one another, but also like bring their ideas and their businesses to the public and more of that community aspect. Because like you said, we only had Freshly Baked and Mars from Blossom tabling. So definitely in that realm, expanding in that direction. Yeah, I don't know. I think some musical element. There was no music, and I'm a big music person, so
I
I
just
definitely
turned down the music on the retail floor. I don't think they know I have the power to do that, but I've been
I
working
didn't know
here
you had
since
the
day
power
one.
to
I've been
do
working here
that.
since day one. I don't know what you guys think I do or what I haven't been able to do. I haven't been able to control the music this entire time.
That's wild.
I can
You
put on
hold
Family Guy on
too
the
much
TV
power.
on the floor if I wanted to. But you see too much power, and I don't even abuse it. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? I keep it calm. We use it when we need to. I know they're in there right now, like, yo, who's like? They must think it's a ghost. But yeah, big whoop, it's me. If you're on the sales floor, music turns down. Ulysses isn't here. I'm the next culprit. And so you mentioned music. I know you know a lot about, I guess I don't want to say local bands and stuff like that, but I know you have friends who play a bunch of music.
I do, yes.
If you were to do something like that, how would you incorporate the music? Like, would you want to have like a battle of the bands? I know Boston Calling was this weekend. Would you just have like a stage or a bunch of different people go, having like your own little festival?
Yeah.
What do you see?
You know what? Thank you for asking that question. I haven't thought of any of that through, but I feel like I would like just have a couple acts for a beginning stage, like kind of musical incorporation. Like I definitely would want to have my acts like chosen and like have a little bit more of a schedule. But I love a good battle of the bands as well. Like a little open mic moment is also so fun, also very community oriented. So I think it could snowball and become other things. But at first, I've already had a little bit of practice like pulling in artists and creating a kind of event in that way. So I think it would just be more of that intersection between how that would look with cannabis involved. So definitely starting there, more of a schedule, a couple acts, and then maybe going forward with something a little bit more advantageous, I guess. Yeah.
No, you make me think of like, just more with intersections. So like, having all of the flute players like smoke 2 blunts and then make them all play the same song and say like, who's got the pipes for this? You feel me?
As a former flute player, I kind of love that idea.
Yeah,
So
like I don't know. I'm ignorant. I don't know if it would affect you or not.
I think it would definitely.
Like is your pipes not the same? Are you gonna cough on the flute? I don't know. I want to. If you do a music event, let me know because I want to lead an orchestra. I want to do the hair flip.
Oh yeah. You did such a great job leading the panel. I feel like you would have to.
I
be
think
the
I'd
first
have
choice
to,
for
bro.
that.
I'd have to.
Naturally, yeah.
And I'd have to wear a suit. I don't wear suits ever. So could you even picture me in a suit? You can't.
Nope.
Bow tie.
I was just gonna say you'd
on.
have to wear a bow tie. It would have to be bow tie, not a tie.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. That'd be very crazy.
I gotta see that.
It'd be wild, right? It'd be wild.
That's wild. Rayvon in the suit.
Yeah, that would be. I've actually always told myself that one day I'm gonna come in a suit and just throw everyone off. Like I come in here in Crocs and a graphic T-shirt every day, and if I just came in here in a suit, tie, a button-up shirt, tucked into my pants, slacks, some shiny shoes, you know what I'm saying? Y'all would look at me and be like, "Where's Rayvon and what'd you do with him?"
We would. Without a
And
doubt.
yeah, and I would just talk real proper and stand straight and be, talk about KPIs and guys, we need to make sure we're reaching these numbers. I would talk like that, and it just wouldn't be fun. I don't think it'd be cool. I also just think that I'd have to get shoulder pads. I could probably borrow some from one of you guys, maybe.
Oh, for sure. I
Right?
got you.
Yeah, girls got to get shoulder pads for their suits, right? Am I saying that, or am I just being an idiot saying
I think that I thrift a lot, and a lot of my clothes end up having shoulder pads.
Yeah, a lot of them
in
have shoulder pads in
But
them,
I
right?
will take them out usually, so I can just lend them to you. I got
Oh,
you.
okay. No, yeah, I've been looking at women's jackets when I'm shopping because I will say women's got really nice clothes in the women's section. Men's section sucks. I look at their clothes and I'm like, yo, why do they get shoulder pads? Why do I gotta like fake it for?
Because we don't be shopping that much. We don't shop, so
We
they
don't.
shop for us.
But but like the men's section clothes suck sometimes.
yeah, but we just throw on clothes sometimes. And
No,
in
that-
fact, especially you.
That's the thing. See, that's the thing. It's not just throwing on clothes.
No.
As much as it seems like it.
No, your fits are nice. I'm saying you
Yeah.
got nice shirts and everything. But like, we can get away with just like a shirt, like.
Oh well,
You know what
yeah.
I'm
For
saying?
boys, just a t-shirt and shorts
Yeah,
is an
that we can
outfit.
get away with that,
Girls
right?
got to have like a whole
Whole
dress, a
ensemble,
skirt,
yeah.
a cardigan. And here's the thing, but like, and it's funny because Ulysses and I have talked about this before as well with like his boys. I want to say there's still so much more for boys that goes like unaccessorized, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's still definitely. I don't want to say. It's definitely easier. Like I'll talk to any mom. She'll say it's easier to dress her 5-year-old boy than it is to dress her 5-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I just feel like there's so many, there's layers, there's flannels,
obviously.
there's hats, there's
agree with
bandanas,
that,
there's a
yeah,
little
exactly.
raccoon tails hanging from your back pocket. Man, I'm gonna come in with one of those one day and a gold tooth. Y'all gonna treat me differently.
You're gonna have a
treat me
grill.
differently. Oh my God! Did we pass 14 minutes yet? By the way.
No, we're good. We're still 11.
All right, bet. Well, Rachel, to focus this back onto you and kind of your event and what you've done, and kind of putting a bow tie on this. If there was one takeaway that you kind of learned from this event, going forward with your event planning in general and looking at, again, having worked with you very closely, I really see you being able to do like a lot more from what you've done. What's one thing you've kind of learned as a takeaway from what you've gone through?
I think more streamlined communication. I'm specifically thinking about the panelists and how I was enduring a little bit of anxiety coming up to the event because there were some people that were supposed to be a part of it that couldn't be, and like just navigating that and not having also a backup plan. I think maybe I should have been a little bit more prepared in terms of like not even like a very distinct backup plan, but just understanding what could happen. I think I was just so excited and so like ready for the whole event to happen that I wasn't thinking really truly about like what could go wrong and how I would face that. I mean, it ended up, of course, like I said, going very, very well, but I wish I had a little bit more of a backup plan. And also in terms of the marketing of it, like I had such a great time going around with John, like hanging posters around Worcester. We were doing a lot of like face-to-face marketing, I guess, of sorts, because I was talking to some different businesses around, like in the Worcester public market and whatnot. But I think that also putting out more, like maybe some paid ads, as we had kind of discussed, it just like with the timing of everything, it's like so hard to like
that was
make it all happen.
that was fun.
But yeah, I would say definitely stronger communication with people who are going to be at the event on my end. I feel like I get too timid. I don't want to like send out too many emails and bombard people. More of that, maybe a little bit better backup plan and more marketing, more focus on advertising, something like that. Because I do wish there were a couple more people that had been able to show up to the event. But again, I think it was impactful for who was there. So I'm very happy.
Yeah. And so with the next event, like what, I guess you already mentioned you'd want it to be something having to do with music and being in the community, but do you have any like exact ideas of like challenges that you want to tackle within the community?
Oh, that is such a great question. I feel like in general, because of our status as an economic empowerment business, I would like to connect with more organizations, even outside of the cannabis space, that are kind of like working towards that economic empowerment of people who have been disproportionately affected and or are just in like a bad economic situation. Like giving support to them and collaborating with them, I think that would definitely, I would want it to be a core part of an event going forward. Because again, this one was focused on social equity, which is like the overarching idea of like where that economic empowerment is situated within. So I think having an even more streamlined message and also attachments to different organizations. Because I think also towards the end of planning the event, I discovered the Last Prisoner Project, because expungement was also part of it. That and they work and their whole project works towards expungement and also educating on what expungement is and getting like people like in the know and help for it. So I think going along with that, I wish I connected with that organization going forward. I would wanna. I guess this is more of like growth as well, like the last question you asked, but connecting with other organizations specific to that economic empowerment piece, I think would definitely be a priority for me. Does that answer your question? I feel like I kind of like went on a little bit of a tangent.
No,
like,
that
in
answers
another
the question.
direction.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Might have to get you a seat over at the CCC. But we'll also take a quick break, and we'll get right back to it in just a second.
Okay, good.
Yo, random question. Oh, so we're back on. Okay. Hello. Welcome to Infused Influence. Appreciate you guys sticking with us through the break. I'm your co-host, Rayvon. We got my co-host, Lauren, with me. What's going on, Lauren?
Welcome, welcome. Thank you. We're back.
And, of course, we have our special guest, Rachel.
Hello.
Rachel, we have, I think this is your third, maybe fourth. This is definitely, I think it's your fourth time on the show.
Is it fourth?
Because
I've done
I've done one just me and you. You did one me, you, and Ulysses. Ulysses, you and I should say. Ulysses, and I have done two. We've done two together.
Wait, why
We've
am
done
I
two.
blanking on
We
this?
did one when you first started.
Yes,
I remember that.
I barely knew you. It's crazy
Yeah,
to be sitting here with you
that
after
was
having.
crazy, right? Yeah. That was like your first week of working, and I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, what's this girl about?
Yeah,
So we did that one, and then we did one for the initiatives around the 3-year anniversary.
That's
We
right.
did one again,
That's
and then we had one. So you
right.
might be the most recurring character on this show. I got to get a tally list of everyone who's come back, because some people come back to the show. Sean's been here twice.
Yeah.
Sean's stories are always something else. You guys have, if you remember Sean, that's something. Cameron's been here a couple times, but you're now at 4.
Wow.
You're practically
I'm so
at host
honored.
level at this point. Wait till you host an episode. No, don't worry. You'll be up next soon. But having you back on the show, for those who missed the first half, we spoke a lot about Rachel's event. If you heard us a few weeks back, we talked about the event that she was going to put on. The event went on. We kind of reflected on that. And now I'd kind of like to get into some more reflection on Rachel's just personal growth. Rachel has completed a feat of graduating from college. Let's clap it up for that. Congratulations to the girl. Very happy for you. Very proud. Personally, I graduated from college 5 years ago. That's crazy. I'm really aging myself here. I know how much of a fight and a battle it can be, and college is long nights, sleepless nights, great times with your friends, smoking a bunch of weed, doing homework, passing in all your work at the end of the semester, but the professor takes it in anyways because they like you. It's tough. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so, leaving college, just first of all, how do you feel?
To be so real, I've been grappling with this obviously for the past week because it just a week ago yesterday. Yeah. But it doesn't feel real to me quite yet, I think. I was kind of just saying this to you guys right before we started recording, but I think a lot of it has to do with my journey was very, I don't want to say unique because everyone's college journey is of course unique, but I transferred twice. So I went from Emerson to CCRI, which is Community College of Rhode Island, to Clark. And I think because of those transitions, being at the graduation itself definitely felt a little bit I felt a little less connected to the community that I was sitting with. I've definitely, I did everything I would have loved to, and I'm so proud of my time at Clark, but it feels still, I think that adds to the unrealness that I'm feeling because it was only 2 years that I spent there. It's like, oh wow, this is like already over. But I'm also just so excited for what's to come, truly. Like, as much as I'm daunted by it and I'm like, I have no idea what I want to do, like, there's just so many things that I do want to do that I'm like, okay, they balance each other out, and it makes me excited. I'm very excited. I'm happy.
Now you have a lot more free time that, you're supposed to fill with the full-time job, but don't let them tell you that. The same way they tell you got to go to college. Not everyone does it. So again, congratulations.
Thank you.
As you mentioned, being at Clark for only 2 years, what were some of your defining moments?
Ooh, okay. I mean, I worked for the Clark thrift store. That was a big one. I did marketing for them, and I would work sometimes part-time filling in positions. That was so great.
What kind of marketing did you do for them?
Just social media, like Instagram, mainly Instagram, honestly. I would make little reels, just go and take photos around the shop. I guess this is marketing, but I did a couple events, or I helped some events. We did like an annual fashion show. I mentioned
Wait, really?
earlier. Oh yeah.
Are you on the catwalk or the runway?
No. Behind the scenes. Behind the scenes.
After this, I'm gonna have you walk in the hall and do your model walk.
Yeah, I know we have a long enough hall back there.
Absolutely.
It's kind of crazy.
You don't think John and I have done it back there already?
Oh, when am I gonna see this?
Yeah, don't ever look
When
at
you
the
come in with the
cameras
suit,
of
when
the
you come
black.
in with the suit.
Yo, me in the suit, I'm gonna be real dapper. I'm gonna have it over my shoulder like this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I did the music event for them too, so that was really fun. Great, Eileen, I love thrifting. I'm like really passionate about it, so getting to work for them was cool. I also worked for an expressive therapies clinic called Worcester Center for Expressive Therapies for a semester, and I got to go into different little after-school programs, making art and music with kids, which was just such a beautiful experience. And the woman I worked under, she was just absolutely one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. Her name was Kayla Daly. She still runs the clinic.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Kayla.
but it was for real. Big shout out to Kayla. But
Love that.
yeah, that was just so beautiful. I didn't realize that I liked children so much until I worked in that setting, and also just everything that I gleaned from just seeing them interact with art and process emotions and learn about themselves is just. I mean, it helped me learn so much about myself through that process. And then I guess my third, there's so many things. Because I also was an ACE mentor. It's the Accelerating Clark Excellence Program. It's a career orientation program for POC and first gen students.
I remember you doing that.
Yes.
I remember you were gone for like a month. Yeah,
I
you couldn't work.
was. It was like
You had to do your job.
3 full weeks.
You just
Yeah,
got
3.5
used to Rachel
weeks.
to having an intern, and then Rachel said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna leave." I was like, "Yo, we just got used to having you do the job."
I know. It's really, really bad timing, but definitely.
But that was a cool program that you were in.
It was a really revolutionary experience for me. I've never been bombarded with so many emotions all at once coming from so many directions, but it helped me learn how to balance such things, and also about how I show up as a leader, because I've never quite seen myself as much of a leader until I was kind of forced into that role doing this. Because I always going into it, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a mentor to these students, but it really is all about that leadership as well. And helping them navigate, understanding their individual identities and backgrounds, and how they even got to Clark and where they want to go in their experience. It was very rewarding, and I'm super, super glad I was involved in that.
Yeah, can you actually get into it just a little bit more? Because I know enough about it, because I know you, but I know that for the listeners, it might be a little fuzzy. So I know that you legitimately for a month was on, you were pretty much on call 24/7,
Yes.
working. Not necessarily working, but working with these students. You had a handful of different students, of different ethnic backgrounds. So you and a few other students, kind of looking at them, kind of taking them in under your wing, being you're big sis, which is so funny here.
For real.
Because I view you as little sis, so it's funny to see you big up like that.
Yeah.
And so you talk about learning how to navigate all those different backgrounds and stuff like that. What were the backgrounds like?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess to speak on we all had little small groups, because it was a cohort of about 30 students, but there were 5 mentors, and we each had, again, small group. So I had 3 students who I would meet with every single day, and we'd debrief, and then I'd obviously ask them how I could support them and whatnot. But my group was a group of, one student was from Worcester, originally from Nepal. He moved here when he was super little. Another student in my cohort was from Texas, I think Mission, Texas, super far out there, obviously. And then my third student was from China. He got here. I met him almost immediately when he got off the plane. I mean, obviously he drove to Worcester, but it was just such a dynamic mix of people, and it was so beautiful to see us all like we were obviously forced to be together, but we also were just such a great little group, and I still had to meet with them continually, like through the rest of the fall semester and this past spring
I was
semester.
gonna say, do you still keep up, like, keep in touch with them?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we were like, we had to. The
Yeah.
school wanted us to meet with them to check in, but I just thought they were so great, and I wanted to meet with them. Like, they're so fun, and like truly, I felt like their bigger sister, and I expressed that to them towards the well, we had like a little ACE graduation at the end of the spring, to celebrate their like first year of college being done. And I told them, I was like, I thanked them for making me feel like that's the kind of bond that we created, was like a very sibling-esque vibe. And multiple of them expressed the same thing back to me, and I was like, that it just my heart. It was just so beautiful. I like shed a couple tears over it.
Of course.
But yeah, the program was just basically them taking a couple classes in the morning, then we'd have lunch, and then we'd do different activities in the afternoon, whether it be like learning about the college experience and like how to navigate that, whether it be classes. I'm trying to think, any like content that could be covered during classes in
Did
general.
you like take them to the dining hall for the first time and all of that?
Oh yeah.
Like, here's where the plates are.
Yeah. We had a little scavenger hunt at one point. I don't know if it was quite a scavenger hunt, but they had us go out and like find different spaces around the campus, and we all had to like, we had certain areas that we had to get to, and then all like meet back at home base and like see who did it the quickest or whatever. Fun stuff like that throughout the program. We also got to go to a local farm. The Community Harvest Project. We went for an afternoon, or it was more like a morning, and we just got to harvest onions and peas, and that was like so beautiful. We went to Green Hill Park. It was my first time going to Green Hill Park. We got to go to the little like petting zoo / normal zoo that they have there, which was so fun. I felt like I learned so much about Worcester too. We went to the art museum, like so many things. It was a very, I'm lacking the word that I want to use to describe the program right now, but it just was, it felt like it set them up well, although it was a little bit sheltered. Like we were, because of how on deck we were, like we really had to like be watching these students the whole time, which felt a little overbearing at times. But I mean, it brought us all together. We were truly together like almost 24/7 for a whole, I think the students, it was two full weeks, and then I was there a week prior to just like prep for their incoming. But yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah, that was a time. That was a time for you, and that is just a fraction of what you completed at Clark.
Truly. Yeah, because then even, I mean, bringing it full circle to talk about the event that we just had, I mean, that was running alongside with a directed study that I was involved in this semester. So that as an opportunity through Clark and through this, just so perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect way to end out my time, I think, in college.
And like, as you came to your final, semester, so I guess I'll ask you this question, and I'll preface it by saying that for me, college ended with COVID. So like that very first, like when it was March and everyone's like, oh my God, it's March, they shut down the world, and it was like spring break for so many people. Like I remember when they shut down like planes going in and out of the country, and I had so many friends in other countries on spring break, like they just shut down the planes. How am I gonna get back to America? It was like a real, granted now here we are talking freely, no masks, just breathe on each other. But it was just, crazy back then. And so I remember we were on spring break. They emailed us all like, hey guys, not really sure what's going to happen. We're going to extend spring break by a whole week. And I was like, oh, dude, awesome, man. And I actually came to Worcester for the week. I stayed with my girlfriend for the second week. And long story short, I never left. That's how I now live in Worcester. I'm a moocher. It is what it is. Shout out to COVID. And during that second week, they were then like, hey guys, this is kind of crazy. Everybody come get your shit. Go home. And so literally like my senior semester, like I'm, doing my thing. I'm like, all right, got a couple more months, really enjoying and relishing these last moments on campus. Just like that, stripped. Like my last blunt in my bed was the last, without me even knowing it. You know what I mean? Like they just said, come get your shit, go home. School's finished on Zoom. Did Zoom classes, was the very first iteration of that. And I say this like it's special. There's thousands of other kids who experienced the same thing. And I didn't graduate for a whole year after that. Like that was March 2020. I didn't walk the field until 2021, like the next summer. And so for me, I didn't really have the ability to be like, man, this is my last time walking down this hall. This is my last time smoking here. This is my last time hanging out with these friends. Literally all of my friends from back then, was the last time we had hung out for a lot of people. The last time I saw them without knowing this is going to be our last goodbye. And I feel like, with graduation, you're able to have, I know you just had a graduation party, you're able to have time with your family and friends and like this is our last hurrah, guys. Like, even you and Johnny came. This is also me speaking personally. I have a nursery in my house now, which was once my smoke room. You already came over and like had like a last blunt in there with me. You feel me? And I keep going on to essentially say, in your last moments, like, what were your thoughts in your final semester? Like, how did you feel about like the accomplishments and just ending things out on your terms? Because I didn't really get to have that. Essentially, a little. I don't want to say envious or jealous because it is what it is, but like. Yeah, my last time walking that path with the blunt at 7 o'clock at night was the last time I ever did it. Some things are sad. You don't get to go back and spin the block again. If you was flirting with the girl and you never got her Instagram, she's gone. She's gone, bro. Granted, that wasn't my situation, but how did you feel about things?
I felt really good. Like I said, I feel like I accomplished everything that I wanted to during my time at Clark. I don't feel like there were any missing links. I mean, I'm sure I could have taken even more advantage if I had more time at the school, but yeah, I felt good. Felt definitely a little bit sad. I feel like there's potential for me to stay in Worcester another year, so I also know that I'll be like hanging around and like I'll see some of the people that I currently am still hanging around. But yeah, definitely just a little bit of sadness, a little bit of like gratitude, and joy, and yeah, I
You
guess
got
all
some
those
lifelong
things.
friends now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've met some really, really phenomenal, talented, amazing people at Clark. Like, I'm so happy and grateful.
I gotta ask too. So you mentioned Clark was the final 2 years of your schooling, but you were at two other places prior to that.
Yes.
Did you live on campus for either of those?
I lived on campus the first year in Boston, which was a crazy experience living in dorms on the 10th floor right across from the Boston Common. Wild. To then come and live here. But yeah, when I went to...
I was trying to be like that.
It was cool.
It was really expensive.
Oh, please. we don't want to talk
room and
about
board
that
was like
aspect of it.
$40K.
Yeah.
My parents said, no way, sir.
It was so bad. I like don't regret it because it was like the time of my life and I'll never be able to experience something like that again. But like, it was definitely an expense.
They really say college is the best time of your life.
See, and that's something I feel like I've been thinking about, obviously, of course, lately, too. I'm like, oh, this time that gave me so many opportunities, like, where am I going to find them going forward? But I feel like I've also just been trying to remind myself that we can find these things. Like, I need to find activities and groups to be a part of as I move forward. And I guess graduating has pushed me to think about that even more, too, and the intentionality that I want to situate there.
I will say that is one of the things that I don't want to maybe say that I miss about college, but in terms of just community, it is so easy. You meet people in class, these people are now your friends, you guys hang out. Like, I talk about it on my personal side of like peer review. As a writer, you go to college, you go to class, everyone has peer review day, everyone take your paper, pass it to the person next to you, blah, blah, blah. I ain't got that no more. I just got to hit up my friends who are like writers too and maybe be like, hey, do you mind reading this, bro? And of course, you still have and that's why those relationships and friendships are important. But in terms of just like community of like, there's a club at 6 p.m. every Tuesday for people who are into anime. I can go there, and even though I don't know anybody, in the first 5 minutes I'll make a friend because we all like anime. In the real world, you don't really have that too much. You feel me? And I don't mean to downplay anyone that's working on anything out there because I'm saying that like it's not out there at all. I'm just not looking for it. But it's just so much harder to like meet people, make friends, to establish new connections. Like I think about people who are sometimes single and they talk about like meeting. So like I just got to meet a girl in Stop and Shop. Like that's crazy. I just got to walk up to someone and say, hey, can I get your number? Like while we're all here at this park. And I think that when you have a place like school, a community, it helps you just really understand or like take advantage of certain grasps of life like that. Sure. But also as a dude who's graduated, college is great. It's not necessarily the best time of your life. Like it is. I think I'm just gonna keep rambling, but what it is that it's a great time of your life with not much commitment, not much responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like I can still go out and party till 3 a.m. if I want to. I just gotta clock into a job the next morning. Like I gotta you gotta start paying bills. It's just real stuff that comes with life. And in college, man, there was just no agenda. Like, oh man, class is done on Friday until Monday. Fuck me up. Like, what are we doing? You feel me?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just interesting to think about the transition, but I think you'll be all right.
It'll be good.
It'll be fun.
I have you as a mentor.
Yeah, it'll be great. Oh man, if you're following my footsteps, good lord, girl. Oh man, I really appreciate that. But phew, man, college, man, that. Yeah. Wow, what a time. And yeah, being at your graduation was cool. You guys had a Nobel Prize winner speaking at your stuff, bro.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It was very cool.
That was really
very
cool.
Mm-hmm.
They said it, and I looked up her name immediately. I looked at John. I was like, "Yo, this is like, how does Clark have this much pull?"
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
I'm
kind of
also
crazy.
questioning it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was wild. And,
No, that was
and
cool.
She was awesome.
She had an honorary degree.
Yeah.
That's one of my goals in this life, bro. I don't have too many, but I want to one day get an honorary degree.
Yeah.
That means that these people mess with you enough that they're just like, yo, bro, here you go. Here's what people pay $100,000,
Right.
$200,000 for.
4 years.
Here you go. Here you go. Just here's a piece of paper. Put it on your wall. You don't even need it because you clearly have enough status to just get one for free. You don't even need an honorary degree. Like where is that gonna get you in life? You feel me?
Yeah.
Kanye got one like 10 years
that
ago.
was-
Did he even need it anymore? Did he?
They take
What did
it
he
away
get?
from him.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did.
Wait,
Who knows?
what did he get an honorary degree for? Hold on.
Like at Harvard or something.
I
like
want to
that
say it was
for-
either from
forgot
Harvard.
where
I think it was from the Chicago Institute of Art.
Oh yeah, no, it was Chicago.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense. That makes
it might have
sense.
been, but like essentially, it's like,
I don't know what happened, but
why does Kanye in 2015 need an honorary degree from Chicago? At this point,
mean-
he had already done a lot.
he made graduation. I think he deserved it.
It was, you feel me? I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but what merit does it get him
Out
that
of
he
all
didn't
the
already
people.
need? You feel
No,
me?
I totally. see
No,
what
I
you're
agree with
saying,
that, too.
yeah.
It's like, hey, bro, you should have given this to him right after graduation dropped. He done dropped he just dropped 15 other albums ever since, bro. Again, no disrespect. It was actually super cool to see her win it. And here I am saying I want an honorary degree too. It ain't gonna do nothing for me.
I think it helps the school more than it helps the person.
Oh,
that gets the
absolutely,
degree.
absolutely. When Harvard's like, look at this guy. We gave Rayvon 100. We gave him a degree, and look at him. He's doing nothing.
Makes
with it.
everyone want to go.
You know what I'm saying, bro? This man's going up. And Harvard could then say, wow, we supported this man.
And then other people would want to pay to go to the school.
Yeah, then they want to go to Harvard because they want to have association with Rayvon.
They don't get an honorary degree though. They gotta pay.
Yeah, bro. Honorary degrees, man. That's crazy. That is a status in life, though, man. Oh my
Well,
god.
can we talk about the Mr. Krabs speech too?
Oh, yo. Okay, guys. So for the listeners, the student speaker at the graduation. Do you remember her name?
Tamara DeGroot.
Yes, Tamara DeGroot. She spoke for the school. And it's funny because Johnny and I, who you guys have never met Johnny on this show, but John is my creative partner back there. We talk all the time about SpongeBob. We're both 27. We grew up on this, bro. Like, SpongeBob makes me laugh. Rachel bought me a SpongeBob mug for my birthday. We love SpongeBob. And so there's so many memes in pop culture of everything SpongeBob. You crushed it. There's just everything. And so for Johnny and I to always berate and like come at Rachel about SpongeBob and like we make a joke like once a week. And then her senior
Hey,
speaker.
wait, can I just clarify? I watched SpongeBob growing up. I didn't have access to cable, and I watched it on Thursday evenings before dinner, and I had my chuckles. You have too many chuckles.
Yeah, no, we have too many
over
chuckles.
this that I can't.
I've
I
watched
can't
every
get it.
episode of SpongeBob. Like it's bad. Like,
Yeah, no, you
No,
definitely.
I love that. I feel like sometimes I miss out.
No,
and then
dude,
they
you
take
do.
advantage of this, and I'm like, oh.
I get high at night, and I literally just go. I watch SpongeBob. Like when the NBA basketball is done, I put on SpongeBob and I laugh my ass off. I know what he's gonna say, and I know it's still funny every time. And so for your senior speaker to essentially then tell a story using Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob,
It was perfect.
it was me and Johnny in the stands like, bro, I've watched this episode. We know this. Oh my god. It was a really cool surreal moment, and I really felt like she did a good job with her speech and tying it into
really,
you guys.
yeah, it was great.
And just always drawing back to being Mr. Krabs, like outside of his shell, which is so fun.
Yeah,
so
it was
funny.
about growth and like shedding your shell, because how crabs, I mean, in nature, crabs like shed their skin and like regrow. That,
Yeah.
thank you.
And that's
Molt
it's
is
literally
the
you
word.
right now.
Yeah.
That's you.
It was
there
a
was
great.
there was that episode about Mr. Krabs molting, wasn't it?
Yo, yeah, that's what she brought up.
Yeah, that's how the
It was top tier. It was top tier.
And then I
bro.
get a selfie of them two like half underwater, like really feeling the SpongeBob vibe.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna go off for a second. We went to Rachel's graduation, bro, and Johnny just kept texting her the whole time, photos of us or like statements and X, Y, and Z. And it was just hilarious. Like John was taking pictures of me when I wasn't looking, and I was like, "Oh, great, I'm in a photo." And yeah, we were underwater. John loves filters. We'll have to get you guys some of the filtered images he puts up of me. We'll have to put up some new ones too. But
Yes, truly.
jeez, man, Yeah, that.
Thank you guys for coming again.
Oh, that was fun.
I know
That was
I've
fun.
thanked you, but it was.
Shout out to the
yeah,
DCU Center. You feel me?
for real.
They've been doing graduations since.
Forever,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, bro. It's kind of crazy. Wow, Rachel, college graduate. You are educated, bro. You are in the real world. There's no more excuses for you. You're no longer just a kid. It's crazy. You are really doing it.
True.
Yeah.
True. Well, I have one more comment to make about graduation. I don't know if we were intending to move on, but shout out your column in Pulse magazine because I decorated my cap and I made a little collage and I used the little logo from your story also to tie it back to cannabis since I know we're on Infused Influence.
Infused Influence.
But because of how impactful my time has been here at Major Boom during college, I was like, well, I have to make a little bit of a nod to the
A
dispensary
little
on
bit
my
of a
cap.
weed. Why not? All right.
Yeah, so it says 420 on the 508 on like the left corner of my graduation cap. Thanks to Ray Vaughn's
Love
column in the
that.
paper.
Love that. Yeah, we had a craft night where Johnny built a Gundam, I did some Legos, and Rachel did her graduation cap. That was actually pretty fun. That was a good night. That was a good night.
Yes.
I got allergic.
Yeah, I know what I was gonna say. Besides your allergies,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the
It turns out
cat.
everyone's allergic to cat. Is allergic to cats for real.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. It's like getting sick all at once.
Yeah, it's cool. I just died. Like,
Yeah, I know it was crazy. It was actually.
Yeah, I
crazy.
love cats. They just kill
bro.
me. Like,
You know what I'm saying, bro? It's phenomenal. Shout out to 420 and the 508. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the writing opportunities. Shout out to having 420 and the 508 just smoking weed. I mean, for an Infused Influence, at one point, one day, I'm just gonna go crazy and spark one in here. I'm just gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Probably when the walls are all done in this place. Probably, maybe not. You know, who knows? But
you might be able to get away with it now. I mean,
yeah.
how hot it gets in here when they. Wait, did they put AC in here? Wait.
Oh, the AC's fixed.
Oh, that's why I'm like, it's cold.
it's
Before it
nice.
was too hot. Now I'm like, I didn't even realize.
Now there's a draft.
Yeah. I'm like,
Only hot in here is my breath. It's okay. That's totally cool. That's totally cool. Well, Rachel, we really appreciate you. Actually, are we even on time?
yeah, we're way over time.
We're
That's
way
okay.
over time. Oh, we are.
Yeah, but we're good. We're at 40, but you know.
Oh, wait, we're at 40?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we should have stopped like 10 minutes ago.
But I can edit it, so you're good.
Oh.
I can edit it because there were
It's a
some
good flow.
tangents. We
Okay.
had, so I can edit. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
since this is also part one of the next week, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Infused Influence.
You want me to do the intro?
No, it's okay. We're already
Hey,
this deep into it. Wow, I was totally unaware of that. All right. Well, what I wanted to do for the next part of our conversation, Rachel,
Yes.
was kind of take another shift into more of just you and the cannabis side. As we said, this is Infused Influence. I'm your co-host, Ravon. I've got my host, Lori, and our special guest, Rachel, here with us. Appreciate you guys for listening in to us and just listening to us ramble. Getting into your cannabis use and cannabis story, I'd like to kind of talk to you more about how you've seen that evolve and grow. I know that, at least I assume that for everyone who works in a dispensary, once you start to work in a dispensary, especially consistently, your entire view and ways of consumption kind of change. And maybe not, maybe I'm bugging, but I kind of just want to go through your story of kind of the consumer you were pre-Major Bloom. Like, what was Rachel smoking before Major Bloom? And I
Yeah,
know from
yeah.
our first conversation, it was like lavender blunts and shit like that. However, from those days, in which I know are still in there, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
from there
yeah.
to today, like kind of how you've evolved with your consumption.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be having this question posed to me because over the weekend I got to spend a night in the room that I first ever smoked weed.
Ooh,
So
that's
I was,
important.
Like, sitting there like, whoa.
That's actually very
yeah,
important.
it was my late sophomore year of high school. I mean, I've gotten into the story on this podcast, but it was really just bowls every once in a while with my friends. We'd be outside through the window, maybe a little bit in there in this room that I'm thinking of. A lot of bowls, just weed, like any weed we could get our hands on. I mean, we had a local dealer, he was great. I was going to grow in him. Maybe a nerd rope here and there, a couple chocolate bars.
Wow.
Definitely over COVID, I was transitioning into more of my edible phase.
We'll have
because,
chocolate covered gummies for you soon.
I love that. That makes me so excited.
They're making them back in the back there right now.
All right. Oh, it's about to start smelling so good in here. Chocolate, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that and my cologne, but whatever.
What
So
a great mix.
you and the bowls, huh?
Me and the bowls, not cleaning them nearly enough, to be fair. Not a detail I
know
needed
that
to share, but
I know
with
that feeling.
a baby stoner is not cleaning their bowl enough, or at least I wasn't. But
That's why you're supposed to get a dark bowl like that. You don't see the black.
That's the worst,
True.
like, because then you smoking all that and you don't even see it.
Yeah, no, exactly. But you don't feel bad about it because if you're not gonna clean it anyways, at least don't see
Your
it.
body gonna feel bad.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. No, your body's gonna be like, bro, that hit was crazy. It's like, bro, you're hitting weed that's 3 weeks old. Like, that's what's going on there. Not even weed anymore. It's just resin.
That's my
You know what I'm saying? They start talking like,
It starts tasting like chemicals. Like,
yeah, bro, it's kind of crazy. Wow.
It is. Oh, I also had an elephant bowl at one point. That was really the love of my life. His name was Harold.
Which end did you take the hit from?
Both. There were times
Wait,
when
what
it
do
was
you-
the
what do you-
trunk, sometimes it was...
What?
I mean, both.
What? So like,
You were supposed to hit it out of the trunk.
Can two people hit it at the same time?
Well, no. You have
Oh.
to cover one of the holes. Do you know how a bowl works?
Well, I know.
yeah, she
She kind of clocked me for a second there. Oh, I think I know how a ball works. When I say end, like, so you hit it through the trunk, through its mouth?
You were supposed to hit it through the trunk, but sometimes for funsies, I would hit it out of its little butt, like out of the little tail.
Out of the little
area.
hole?
Yeah.
For funsies?
For funsies.
That's
I needed to know if it
crazy.
would go both ways, and it did. It was
Yo, that's
very efficient.
crazy. I learned a new thing about elephants today, bro. I'm about to go watch Madagascar with a whole new eye. That's...
Wait, sorry. Now I'm thinking of elephants. I can't wait for next week because I will hopefully be swimming with elephants in Thailand. But that's a whole nother thing.
No, don't worry. We're gonna get into that too.
Okay.
Rachel going to
Little.
Thailand. Stay tuned. Yo, you hit. Okay, so that's what you meant by that. Okay, I've
Yeah.
never thought to like hit the little side that you cover with your hand and then just cover
Yeah.
the other part.
Yeah, it works.
I feel like I guess typically that's just close to the flame.
True stoner.
True stoner.
That's a true stoner right there.
Just getting real
Wow.
silly and being like, ooh, what else can I do?
Wow.
That's
Well,
a
but-
curious stoner. Like,
Wait,
Both.
speaking of, I have to make you. Have you ever told the story of that bowl we were talking about? Like last week when we were collaging?
Oh,
Curious
wait.
stoner activities. I feel
No.
like you need to tell the people about this. You know what I'm talking
Yo,
about?
curious stoner activities.
The candy, the bowl that you constructed.
Okay,
gosh.
okay.
This is a good one.
Now we're getting into fun. Now it's like I'm the guest. All right, so last week hanging out with Rachel, like 2 weeks ago when we did the craft night, we were talking about some of the crazier. Was that the same night?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
earlier in the
Okay,
night. Yeah.
we were talking about some of the things that we've just like done creatively with weed. We talked about smoking out of an apple, smoking out of like a 12-ounce can or whatever, and I told them about a bowl I once made myself, and so what I wanted to do was taste a really sweet smoke, and so I crafted a bowl that you smoke out of from Starburst. I went to BJ's. I copped like a 10-pound bag of Starburst with like 250 of them, the motherfuckers in there, and made my own little bong. Excuse me. Made a bowl out of Starburst. It really was not the best. It really wasn't. You didn't get too much of a hit. You just burned the Starburst.
the fact that you actually made a bowl out of Starburst to me is this.
Oh yeah, no, it was the
Did
one.
you just like meld it together with your fingers?
Yeah, no, like there was no like fire. There was no making them like.
So much time to do.
Like, back to my point from like earlier. When you was in college, bro, it was free time. If you weren't in class,
That's true.
you just had time to do
I'm not
anything.
gonna
Yeah.
lie.
And so I could just bunk off and take an afternoon to make a bong out of a bowl out of Starburst. And yeah, even though it burst my bubble and didn't really work out, it was an afternoon well spent. And a smart it's like $10 for the bag of Starburst. You know what I'm saying?
You get it, right? Like,
Eat it after?
that's
No,
okay.
no. My hands were really sticky the whole time. I was just trying to like. It felt like ceramics, but with candy. And so when you try to hit it, the fire's just burning the sugar. It was like, you ever make a creme brulee, and
Yeah.
you got to burn the sugar. Yeah, that's what happened.
You do that
Oh.
in school. You ever do that caramel experiment where they make you burn the sugar to make
Yep,
caramel?
yep.
It looks the same way, right?
Pretty much, bro. And so you're there like, what's going on with the weed? You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of smoke coming through, but it was just kind of crazy. So yeah, building a bowl, and then you know what's the crazy thing? I want to come back to it. Like I want to make one out of Legos maybe or something else.
Ooh.
I need to figure out something ceramic. Like it's got to be able to hold
You
the
said
fire.
ceramic, and I was just at Claytime last week. It's like the little pottery place you just go and sit and paint, and they had bowls there, and I was like, I have to
Smoking
come back.
bowls?
Yeah, of course.
At Claytime?
At Claytime, you can go. They have like bongs too. There was
you
this
can make-
really beautiful one that had mushrooms all over it, like so ornate.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been to.
yeah.
I guess I haven't been back in years.
Yeah, you gotta get there. I want to go and make one. I painted a little plate. It was my first time
Yeah.
painting pottery in like years, so I need to start off small. But
Well,
I'm coming for the bowl.
the one time I went, I made an ashtray. My wizard hat one. You could
Oh, yes,
cover
yes,
it,
yeah.
so then it doesn't smell in the house. Because man, open ashtrays just make it smell. That's kind of crazy. Ceramics class was fun.
Oh, yeah. I miss it.
I actually I got to bring it in for the audience. I found one of my creations. And man, I used to make pretty wacky stuff. I can't even explain it without showing it to you guys. So like next week, I'm just gonna have to bring it in. That's gonna be stupid. What was the crazy thing you smoked out of?
I haven't really smoked out of anything so insane. Like, I think the most, like, creative, which is not creative because people do it all the time, is an apple. Like, I'm trying to smoke out of a mango soon. The next fruit is a mango because also,
Mangoes are hard.
entourage effect. Like, I know. We were talking about it with John that night. Like, the pit of it's definitely hard to navigate, but.
Have you ever done a grab bong?
No. Of course.
That's how this man's Lorian lives, bro. In college is when
I'm
you
not
see them
gonna
ones
lie,
with the
that's
5 gallons,
I
bro.
go home, taking my grab on it right away.
That's crazy. What's the maintenance on that look like?
That's a lot of maintenance. Okay, it depends. If you do it like the college way, where you just get like a 2 liter, just cut off the bottom or
Yep.
put holes in it, and then you get like a pitcher. That one has a lot of maintenance because you have to like clean it. But I have a glass one as well. I bought like a nice glass grab bong, and that one is nice. But you know, after a while, you gotta clean, like full clean.
course, yeah.
You just can't get a new bottle. You know,
Nah.
with the 2 liters, yeah, it gets dirty, but you can just buy a new bottle, make a new one real quick, all that. You just got to keep the cap. That's the only hard part is. So I have like a Yoda head that was for a bong, and I like put into a bottle cap, and that's what
That's
my
it.
top of my grab.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
so
big
funny.
too. So it's like you take a big hit.
Okay, now you have me thinking because I was in Lily's yesterday, like Lily's glass, and they have those zongs that have that cool, like, crazy thing that goes out the side. And have either of you ever hit one? Because they look, I don't know, they just, no,
I don't think so. No.
no, they look crazy.
They are crazy. They look crazy to me.
It's crazy the kind of glass that's out there these days, bro.
For real, it's so awesome. And the owner was telling us, I was like in there with my boyfriend yesterday, and she was saying that people will like set up outside this glass shop like 24 hours in advance when they're having a drop or something, and they'll bring a grill and they'll have like a whole party outside, which is, hey, I mean,
No, it's crazy. If you
Smoking
can afford
apparatus.
a $300 piece, power to you.
Yeah.
for real.
You know what I'm saying?
One day.
Because they be beautiful pieces that they be smoking out of, and then you really got to be committed to cleaning it and making sure you take care of those pieces. I've got friends, like I'm hanging out with a friend today who I know they pay $600, $700 for a piece. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you want to take a hit out of it? And I'm like, no, I didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? I don't want to touch that thing.
Right.
If the slightest crack happens, and you now say you want me to owe you $700, this is the end of our friendship. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, because I've had an expensive piece. Once you use it enough, it kind of feels like you got the worth out of it. Like even if it's $700, like you've had it for like 5 years. Like some people will have it for like 5 years. After that point, I'm like, it's got me some good times. Like, you know.
See, I just break things too
Well, see,
easily.
that's the thing.
So that's something.
I think I'd put it away in a Hall of Fame, but if it broke, I'd be so upset. Like, I've got shoes I wore for 5, 6, 7 years, and when I'm done with them, you know what, bro? They don't fit no more. I got a couple holes in them. Could I donate them to, like, charity or send them to Savers? Yeah. Or I could frame this T-shirt and put it in the Hall of Fame in my house.
See, that would be cool.
Dude, I'm trying to keep a wall of fame, if you guys can't tell personally, for, like, you know, clothes I used to wear and X, Y, and Z. Just hang it up. You know what I'm saying? Hall of Fame. Why not?
That's cool.
I feel like we all have those in our wardrobe.
This is true.
You know, your favorite shirt, and then you get a spaghetti stain on it, and it never come out. So now you can't wear the shirt no more. Or if you're like, you know, a person who's into that lifestyle of like, I already wore this in a photo, I can't wear it ever again. Like today, I got called an outfit repeater, which was, you know, it's true. I was hoping that person would say that, you know, cartoon character lifestyle, you repeat outfits. But yeah, you know, you just hang up pieces. That's it. And keep them stone cold on ice. Give them to your kids one day. You know.
True.
One day your kids gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm wearing this shawl that my mother knitted 25 years ago." That's gonna be kind of cool. You know, it's one of one.
Yeah.
And your kid could be all artsy fartsy. Like, you know,
That's the goal. That's the goal.
you're gonna name her Rachel Jr.
Maybe with an AEL. Rachel AEL. But then they wouldn't be a junior, so that wouldn't work.
Wow.
I have to change it up, I think. I don't know. I like Rachel, but
You should
there's
have
just a
it be
world
your
of
name
possibilities.
backwards. Lacar. Lacar.
That was too quick.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow. All right, so wait a minute. Did we already pass our break for the radio too?
We're at an hour and a half right now.
An hour and a half right now?
Yeah, and hold on, let's see. Let me try and
What?
get in some technical.
There's no way. We started at 12:30.
Yeah, and it's 1:30. Right? What time is it right now?
1:30, right?
Yeah, 1:33 right now.
All right, so we've done an hour. This is crazy. Hello, you guys are saying the real time things, how these work, you know?
You actually,
Are we good on the? It's
That's
just
what I'm saying. Yeah, the screen turned off, and on here. Oh, look at
Xbox Live.
But we've also never done one this long, like for an hour, right?
Is it like Google Meets where they shut off your call after an hour?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? Or maybe the computer like fell asleep because we've been on for.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That's funny.
A cute little.
So Rachel, you're about to go to Thailand. Even if this doesn't make it to air or not, I don't know. You're about to go to Thailand.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
What? Parents got me my graduation gifts. Shout out to them. Love them so
Yes, sir.
much.
You staying at the White Lotus?
Ooh, you know I'm not, but I might have to book a night.
Don't worry, it's fake.
I almost forgot.
Unless it's real. I don't think
They
it's
must
a real
have
place.
the actual hotel must exist. I mean, I haven't even watched the new season, but
I bet the hotel probably actually
yeah.
exists. Yeah.
No, I'm staying in a couple hostels actually. I'm very excited about that.
Ooh, you get to be able to like pick your own onions for breakfast, right?
I hope so.
Is that what a hostel means? Is that like a bed and
One
breakfast?
of them does offer breakfast. They don't always, though.
Wow.
But one of them that I am going to be at has breakfast. They have little activities that you can go out and do with the other people who are staying in the hostel. I think there might be like yoga sessions during the day at the one that's in Bangkok, because we're flying into Bangkok and then we're staying 4 nights there, taking another flight to Phuket, closer to the islands down south in Thailand.
Yeah, I have no idea what this place means. I'm gonna have to look at my map later.
Catch up on your geography. This is good. Now we're going into Asia. You got to get the U.S. map first, maybe, though, before we.
I will never know the U.S. map. By the time I know it, they're gonna like acquire Hawaii or so. I don't know. By the time I know it, things are gonna change. I just know that much.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm hoping to, like I mentioned earlier, swim around with some elephants. There's an elephant sanctuary in Phuket that I'd love to go to. Really excited about the night markets. Also, shout out Electric Haze because they started a night market every Saturday evening, or not even evening, 3 to 11. Major Bloom's a sponsor. But yeah, I'm really excited for Thailand's night markets as well.
I've seen the videos. They look rather engaging.
Yes.
They look kind of crazy.
Yes, I'm super excited. And food tours. I love Thai food. I can't wait. What was that?
Can you bring back some bamboo?
I don't know if they'd let me back.
You have to declare kind of things like that,
Yeah.
right? When it's playing, unless it's like already dead, right?
I actually don't know what the.
I don't.
Yeah,
know
I need to
either.
look that up.
Just treat it like weed and wrap it in your sock. Oh my God! Wait a minute. Are you gonna bring weed?
No, they have dispensaries in Thailand. I've been told to be a little bit careful about like where I'm entering and like what the vibes are, I guess. But I mean, I want to try some Thai weed. Like, I'm down. I also want to get a tattoo while I'm there too.
Wow.
Expand upon that. I mean, I just have too many ideas. I feel like I'm not gonna be able to do it all, but we'll see.
We'll see.
The goal is to get it all.
I guess we'll have to have you back on the show to let us know how it went.
Oh, I would love that. 5th time's the charm.
Wow.
That would be crazy.
Yeah,
I actually
once we
can't
get a
believe I've been on
slash in
here
your
4
tallies,
times.
that's wild. Oh my God. Well, Rachel, we really appreciate the time that you've given us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, of course. You know what I'm saying. If I could do it all over again, would I have you back? Probably. For sure, right?
Touching.
Yeah, enough. Come on now. Shout out to Lorian on the 1s and 2s over here, Mr. Six Man. To all the listeners out there around the world, you know what I'm saying? Stay in school. Respect your moms, yo. You guys have just been infused.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.